Chapter 195 Beating Up Again. With Hori personally taking action, whether it was the Xue or Yi family, no one had a chance to resist. They were suppressed by his aura until they could not move. Then, they were beaten up by the Night Shadow Guards. These Night Shadow Guards had also observed the fight earlier. They saw how Xue Fanxin had beaten up the Xue sisters, and they employed similar tactics now. Ever since they started cultivating, they had never fought with an enemy in such a manner. This was something that only barbarians without cultivation level would do. Yet, they were acting like barbarians and very happily at that. When their punches and kicks landed on the enemy, they produced crisp bangs. It sounded very refreshing. Stop fighting, Don't hit me, oh, my hand, my foot, Screams constantly sounded from the streets. Second Master Yi stood out the most with ear-piercing wails. They were like pigs being slaughtered, and just hearing them made people feel pain. Sure enough, servants followed their masters. Judging from their ruthlessness in beating people up with their bare hands, they were quite identical to the little girl just now. This savage and violent beating made people's blood boil, especially when those disgusting aristocrats were on the receiving end. Not only did they not pity them, but they also wished they could go up and serve them a few punches. This time, Xue Qinglin and Xue Qinglin were spared. The two of them hid in a corner and watched as Elder Mo and the guards of the Xue family were walloped. The sounds of punches and kicks and the painful cries made their hearts tremble. At this moment, they were really afraid of that woman called Fanjiu. From today onwards, they would definitely take a detour if they saw her. Such a violent woman was too terrifying. Xue Fanxin had fought a few matches today and had been suppressed by Elder Mo's aura a few times. She was exhausted and did not want to fight anymore, so she just stood by the side. She had called out the Night Shadow Guards because she was too tired. Anyway, she did not want to let go of the Xue family easily. She also wanted to teach that lecherous old fellow from the Yi family a lesson. Stop hitting. If you continue, I'm going to die. How could there be such a violent person in this world? Killing people was nothing more than nodding their heads, but their fighting style was much worse. When Xue Fanxin felt that she had had enough, she shouted, "Stop!" Just one word was enough to stop all the trained Night Shadow Guards. They stood behind Xue Fanxin and waited motionlessly for new orders. Shuri also retreated to the side and waited quietly. He restrained his aura and did not leak a single strand. No one could see through his cultivation level. If they didn't know better, they would think that he was just a slightly stronger guard and that there was nothing special about him. However, everyone present had seen how powerful Hori was, so they didn't dare to treat him as a small fry. The people from the Xue and Yi families were beaten until their skin was green and their eyes were swollen. They were lying on the ground, all of them moaning in pain. They felt as if someone had torn their tendons and bones. It was indescribable. This was even more painful than being slashed 10 times. The second Master Yi, who lived like a prince, was in so much pain that he was crying his heart out. He was filled with regret. He had not planned to go out today. He had only run out because someone had told him that there was a great beauty here who was prettier than the #1 beauty in Heavenly Saints City. Who the hell told him that there was a peerless beauty here? Come out, Second Master will promise not to beat you to death.